Happy Oil Lady here, making peanut brittle with no corn syrup. In my big candy pot, I have 2 cups of sugar and 1/2 cup water. An optional ingredient is a tiny sprinkle of cream of tartar. It just helps stabilize the sugar since we're not using corn syrup. Okay, you're going to stir your mixture continuously over a medium-low heat until it comes to a boil. At which point we're going to stop stirring until we add more ingredients later. So while that boils, without stirring, use water and a pastry brush to wash any sugar crystals off the sides of your pot. Using a candy thermometer is optional. Caramelization begins at 320 degrees, but I mostly go by color, so that's not really necessary. Your syrup's going to go from a honey color to an amber color. And once it gets to amber, you need to move really fast so that it doesn't burn. To help me be fast, I like to measure out my ingredients ahead of time. You need 2 cups of salted peanuts, 1 teaspoon of salt mixed with 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla mixed with any doTERRA essential oils like wild orange or cinnamon that you might want to add for added flavor. And I will put my link in the comments if you want to order any of those. Okay, it is about the right color and temperature. I'm going to turn the burner off and I'm going to add my butter. You're going to see that this is going to get really loud and spitty really fast. That's totally normal. Be careful, sugar burns and it burns really bad. I'm going to wait for the butter to melt before I add my vanilla. I have my heat-resistant spatula ready. You don't want your spatula melting into your pot of 300+ degree candy, so make sure that you have a heat-resistant spatula ready. I'm going to remove this from the burner. Sorry, Beth, you'll have to move with me. Okay, that butter is almost all the way melted and incorporated. Add the vanilla. Can you see inside the pot? Yeah. Okay, here comes the big reaction. Baking soda and salt. Ooh. Just stir that around. Oh, it smells so good, y'all. Seriously. Dump the peanuts in. We're going to get that stirred fast. Really get everything incorporated, but as quickly as you can, because you'll notice that it starts getting hard right away. Get it over onto... Oops, I didn't quite get that all mixed in. If you're going to use the slip pad that I have, or like that I'm using, make sure again that it is also heat resistant. Candy not only burns at over 300 degrees, but it sticks to you at the same time, so it creates really bad burns. So you're going to want to be really, really careful. If you're new to playing with candy and playing with sugar, a pair of gloves isn't a bad idea. Spread that out. Ooh, it's already starting to harden around the sides. The thinner you get it, the better it's going to crack and crunch when you break it up, and the easier it will be to eat. So try to spread that out nice and thin, but not so thin you've got holes. Some people also put another piece of parchment or silicone slip pad on top and roll it out really quick with a rolling pin, but I just press.
She's beautiful.
It is beautiful, isn't it? This is my daughter Beth helping me video so that my candy doesn't seize like my fudge did yesterday.
Hello world.
Okay, that's looking really good. And from here, you just let it cool for at least 4 hours, and we'll show you the next process. The fun part comes next. Okay, so at this point, it's cooled for over 4 hours. And all I'm going to do is transfer it. So you just pick the whole thing up and move it over. And then I'm going to move it back. I usually turn mine upside down. I find it breaks better that way. And then I'm going to put my parchment, or this is silicone mat. I'm just going to put it back on it, and I'm just going to break it. Some people use a rolling pin. And you just break it into however many pieces and what size pieces that you want. And there they are. Lovely pieces of brittle.